Okay, and we are live. Welcome to the Zeall Show, episode 56, where all the shows are unscripted, bit of planning, but mostly unfiltered. And we talk about with all the different things with guests or by myself, making sure that it's the truth that comes out. So yeah, this is my 56th show. I am going to have a few more before I take a 1 month review, basically a break before I start again. So after these few shows until July, around July-ish, then I will be taking a 1 month break before I start again. Because yeah, I had a 7 to 8 month run on this, and I just need to get my thoughts together. I'm not like Tucker Carlson or like the Joe Rogan in the sense that I'm not not my career is to be doing the show, but it's more like at this there was this momentum to learn from everyone, learn from everyone, and also and see where things can go that can you know whatever I say, whatever I write out improves others. So talking about that, I also have the book that I'm writing called Scale with Trust. Some people misunderstand saying that we did all fintech to get licensing. This is wrong. That's not what I'm trying to get to. What I was trying to say is even if you're fintech or non-fintech, when your business does require you to talk to regulators, you must face it. You must really know how to talk to them properly. Even in the US, for example, the SEC has come out to say that they support Web3 self custody businesses, DeFi businesses. You shouldn't be thinking that you should avoid the regulators. More like you should get your whole business DAO defensible, so that when you talk to them, they will then say, "Okay, great. I can see how your business is can be exempted. I can confirm that you're exempted and run in the U.S." Right? Because there's just too many cases that like FTX, even Binance or BitMEX, when they try to fix things afterwards, either someone gets in jail or someone gets needs to pay a huge fine. So yeah, so that's what that book is about. Not trying to push for people to get licenses, but get people to communicate with regulators early on. So without further ado, I have a very uh, important guest here. It's someone that I was introduced by one of my other guests, Pandu, which was very honored to have her on the show early on. And we basically anyone that wants to be on the show that speaks about Web3, AI, crypto. Happy to have you on. Obviously, if I don't know you, then maybe have a call beforehand. But for this guest, I will call him just Danny because Danny will be his nickname. I think it's better for him to say his full name. I don't want to say it wrong. He's the founder of Myriad.Social. He's also a co-founder of Indonesian Blockchain Association. Who the people there I work with, and I didn't know he was one of the co-founders. Just like I didn't know Pandu was one because I was working closely with Oscar back then, and he's very deep into building decentralized. Sorry about my voice. Decentralized systems, metaverse, and and a lot of crypto governance as well. So there's a lot of things I want to talk to him about. He's definitely very deep in the space and understands a lot about what's going on. So yeah, let's get him on. Let me just change it over. Hi, Danny. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Hi, Anson. Hi, everyone.
Great, great. Thanks for being on the show. And yeah, would you like to introduce a bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'll do that. So, with the little preamble that I suck at introducing myself, but I'm gonna try. So basically, yeah, I've been building together with Pandu that you've probably heard of, Myriad Social, DeBio Network, RealityChain and other products that are like completely decentralized. Myriad is also federated. That's we did that for yeah, 4 or 5 years. Myself, I started in blockchain, not crypto, blockchain, in 2015. Started in IT at uh, younger than I want to actually confess. I mean, like it was in '98. Um,
98.
and
So
yeah,
so
'98.
but so back then, wow, the internet just started and you understood the concept of decentralization back then already?
Well, yeah, the concept of decentralization as in like internet is a decentralized network, yeah, because with a little bit of curiosity and the first place I worked with was also an ISP, a small local ISP. So I don't know in other countries, right? But where I'm from in France, um, at the turn of the millennium, a lot of a lot of smaller ISPs started to emerge, and they usually had like other services. Yeah, I started basically pulling cables, fixing computers, making small websites, stuff like that. I was like what 15,
Oh,
and yeah,
yep.
that's
Okay,
mostly it.
no, but okay.
Yeah,
But back then, okay, so when I started, 1995, I remember getting my 14K, 14.4K modem, right? We dialed in, and then we were very happy to even see the web page, right?
yeah.
And we were just saying we are actually of the same age. So
Mm.
back then for me was getting curious that wow, things can companies appear right in front of my face, and even how ugly the websites were, they were actually very nice. But back then you were already thinking ahead, like what are the possibilities of this? Am I correct to say?
Um, I wouldn't give myself that much credit. People who knew me at the time might say differently. I don't know, but the thing is, like for me personally, it was not just about the web. It was about IT in general. I got extremely curious about everything that could fit in you know could fit in a computer case or get in or get out of it. So I was actually much more into hardware at the time. Uh, like some of the kids, they would customize their mopeds. Well, I would customize my moped and my PC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So, okay, so we talked about the internet, but what got you uh into crypto? Like what got you interested in 2015?
Okay, so that's actually a super good question because what got me interested in crypto was blockchain really.
Hmm.
I'd been trying to solve something on my own corner, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have a computer science education. I kind of suck at math,
Which
and
is even more interesting that got you. That's why I want to find out. Yeah.
I actually, you know what? I'm starting to refocus myself like real bad on linear algebra because it's and calculus soon because it's needed. Uh, Sorry,
No problem.
I've got a cough. So anyway, yeah. So something I noticed that with Web2, with transition from the web as we knew it before the 2010s to what we call Web2, and the increasing dominance of what we call now the FANGs. Um, Data, the sovereignty of data had gone through a change. So before Web one, if we can call it like that.
Yeah.
Um, you had something to say. You would put it on a web page. Maybe if you were like some kind of wizard, you had a guest form, for comments or something like that. But mostly you'd receive emails about your content. One of my personal websites was featured in a book to say, like, and yeah, just a minute. I'm sorry about my voice.
No problem. I'm thankful that you came on the show because I know you're not feeling that well already. It's okay.
Yeah, so uh, you would have your data with you. Basically, it's always someone else's server, right? But you would have control of your data, right? And then came like Blogger and all those blogging platforms and later on Facebook and all the social media and whatever, and your data would be everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And I thought this is weird that what you produce as a web user is spread out on so many platforms, that you have so many identities, that you depend on so many content providers. I had several blogging platform close on me. I was a blogger for quite a long time, for 7 years actually. I had a creative writing website, everything. I actually made a book I never published, but I wrote a book. Um, and yeah, I had several platforms close on me, and I was like, why? How is it that I am not the custodian of my own data, right? That was in around 2012, and that's when I started writing a white paper for a protocol. I called it backpack, and because like the things you put in your backpack, and
Yeah.
there was a co-protocol that wanted to call inventory, and I basically thought would be nice if anyone had some kind of private server that would just dispense data on a need to demand. And if everything you put on that server were exchangeable, were stateful, actually. So I've got a camera, for instance, a good camera. Uh, I can actually lend it to someone and mark it as lent to that person. So send a transaction to that person to say that the camera is theirs for a week or something, right?
Yeah.
This kind of thing. And never could finish the thing because life got in the way. And in 2015, someone called me and told me, "Hey, I need someone who understands tech to write something for me." And the person actually made me not at gunpoint, just to make it clear. But we wrote together a white paper in 2014 that was based on the NXT blockchain. So it had smart transactions, which now Ethereum has smart contract. You upload it on the blockchain. It's executed in the EVM and blah. But that technology had I'm gonna say granular transaction, not Turing complete, but granular transaction built in the validators. It was also proof of stake. It was actually pretty promising. Internet politics just screwed it up real bad.
Wait, hold
But the
on. It's
stuff
2014 and proof of
15,
stake.
yeah,
2015. You're already
yeah.
thinking about proof of stake
That
already.
was not me, but that was the thing I was writing about. So we
Wow.
made we made we made a product on that platform, on that chain, which was um, and in order for me to write about that product that we wanted to make, I had to understand what I was working on. I mean, so I had done technical writing for a lot of things, and the more I get to know the technology, and the more I'm like, wow. So you mean like data sovereignty, identity sovereignty, pseudonymity, resilience, decentralization, like all that in like one place, with something that can do all the things I'd been wishing for so long. Yeah, I'm in. I'm completely in. And I went full in because the technology is awesome. And yeah, and it's not, so the white paper got funded.
Mm.
No, not for a tremendous amount of money, like I think even a failed pump fund now can get more money than that. But it was
But
funded, got funded at forums and, like, the good old way.
mm.
And that's how it started. And it started, and I really want to emphasize on this from the blockchain and technology point of view, not from the crypto, because crypto wasn't even a thing at the time.
It was only Bitcoin, nothing else.
Yeah, Bitcoin, and then at some point I remember, like, I do think that Vitalik visited the co-working space where I was at. We got into a startup accelerator after that and stuff. Got to meet. Funny, I got to say hi uh, to Vitalik and befriend the dude who hacked the DAO later.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Unknowingly.
Hmm. So,
Yeah.
okay. So for myself, this data thing obviously only started, well, for me, only started where we know that Facebook, even till today, is trying to make use of your data to make money. Like, only, not like you,
Mm.
when you already knew it from the beginning that something isn't right. And to be even more frank on this, I was a computer science grad, and I didn't really recognize it as early as you did, right? So obviously, by when I did, um, that was even later when I knew about Bitcoin,
I'm
because
blushing, mate.
yeah, because I think after my computer science graduation, I turned more towards the financial side. So I was very into
Mm.
like the financial markets, how it works, especially because
Mm.
my first job was in a accounting software firm, right? So obviously already touched the money side of things. So when uh, and also my family, because from Hong Kong, as you know, in Asia, the Asian financial crisis was the first hit to me. That if we
Mm.
don't take care of our money properly, then the money will hit you.
Yeah.
The markets will hit you. So I'm more veered towards that side. So the data side didn't touch me. But once I actually started touching it, I used, for example, before it failed, Deso was one of them that sort of got up during the ICO days, and then now it became a zombie. No one's using it. And then there was, I mean, Farcaster is sort of still around. But my question is, how come it's important for people to know about that data is being misused or abused, yet so many of these platforms are not really taking up? Where do you think is the problem, or are we just still early? There will be some point where it will just take away from the centralized social media platforms.
It's actually extremely big. I mean, that could even go into the conspiracy territory if we pushed it, but it's extremely big, and I'm actually very sad to see that users, retail consumers at large, don't realize the importance of owning your own data and having control on your own data. Because when you see regulations about personal data, right, privacy, regulation and all.
Mm.
Um, they usually you think about your ID, you think about your bank account, your social security number, your interaction with a specific company, and you think about financial data, right? Financial official data, this kind of thing. But it goes so much further. Of course, you don't want your phone number to be leaked. Uh, there were some leaks in some Indonesian database. Like my inbox is full full of spam from online money lenders and stuff like that, for instance. But that's just a very very small facet of a multifaceted. It's not even a die at this point. It's a disco ball. Um, you're first off, and it's been learning, right? Everything you do online is tracked, and that everybody knows. Do you accept or reject those cookies? But why? Because you have companies that are specialized in profiling you, tracking you, profiling you, providing insight about who you are, what your behavior is, so other companies can sell better to you. That's okay. That's no news, right? Problem being, those data, they are not just financial data. Those are psychological data. Those are data about how you behave, behavioral data. When it comes to getting some dubious ad before a YouTube video, it's not that bad, right? But when now you're in a space that's overly dominated by a couple of gigantic applications who have extremely advanced AIs, which goal is to keep you on the app as long as possible so they can sell as much as possible, then it becomes a problem
Mm.
because there are no there's not 1,000 ways to keep someone somewhere. What is happening now on social media? We all hear about echo chambers,
Yep.
but I'm not sure everyone understands how our data is used to build these echo chambers and how bad these echo chambers are.
Mm.
Um, you can see it if you scroll Instagram. You like cats, right? And all of a sudden you look at a video on beer making. I'm saying beer making because everybody was expecting dogs. So, and I'm so bad. Sorry, I'm so impressive like that. So you look at this video from that microbrewery or something, and all of a sudden everything on your stream is about microbrews, right?
Yes.
They are actually trying to see how fast you skip, because like, is it a topic that's relevant to you? Will you leave that video stream to actually scroll down to another seed for that video to have another, to have another random, not randomly but procedurally selected stream of new videos so they can better personalize the stream for you?
Yeah.
That's okay. And then you're thinking, oh, but that's not that bad, right? Because I like to see content I like for 6 hours in a row without leaving home. But then you open the comments, and then either you see a lot of people who completely agree with you, either you see something, many things that are making you boil. And then you compare with your friends, and you realize that your friends are not seeing the same kind of comments that you are.
Yeah.
And then it clicks. And then you read about how the feeling of awe and the feeling of anger are the two most viral feelings. possible if you want something to be memorable. But then it's very difficult to wow people unless you do something completely spectacular, X Games level tricks or fantastic technology. But there is a limited amount of that, right?
Mm,
You can't you can't do something spectacular every day. But what you can do is make people angry,
mm,
and make people fight in the comment section, at every moment. And the only thing you need to do is to say something they don't agree with, right? And say the algorithm, uh, if there is not enough, uh, I'm gonna say rage bait, from the get go, just show more. It's all there. And this this echo chamber building, this rage chamber building, has been happening. Facebook did experiment on this, actually in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. It's Googleable. You can check the sources. They took a sample of a dozen thousand people, and they literally manipulated their mood. Uh, by, oh, what happened if we show them sad videos? What happened when we show them happy video? Of course, they were completely unaware of it. They were not consenting. They didn't opt in. This kind of thing, right? And this is shaping not only the way we interact together online, but this is shaping the way we interact together in real life, because kids are growing online. Kids are growing on the internet without supervision. I'm glad, right? Uh, we're the same age, right?
yeah.
So you and I, we were in contact with kids our age, like at school or extracurricular activities, sometimes a sleepover or two. But mostly we had to code switch. Yeah,
Yep.
you talk to other kids like you talk to other kids, and then when you're with adults, which is most of the time, you behave yourself, not out of fear, but because you understand that there is different context, there is different code, and there is such a thing as being attentive, polite. Uh, Now, kids go to school, and then they go back home, and they're still with other kids on their phone, on Roblox, Discord, whatever. And those kids are literally raised by algorithms.
Yes. Totally agree.
And that this is why. Uh, so when we did Myriad.Social, for instance, we didn't even debate about it. Actually, we took the immediate decision. So Myriad.Social is a decentralized, federated social platform, right? Um, and we didn't even debate about it. Like, there will be no content recommendation algorithm. It's curation. If people like something, they will recommend it, and that's it. We're not letting anyone but users showcase what is or what should be interesting, what is or what should be targeted.
But you see, this is this is interesting because in 2016, that was the year that I stopped using Facebook because it was very obvious when I put my comments on Facebook, especially about Trump, uh, it is getting filtered. It was getting filtered. It
Yeah.
was not going there. Everything was on the blue side, and I thought, this is wrong. And then when I say something, I can see my friends of friends coming in to roast it, to troll it. So I said stop. So I haven't been have that's even till today. I can't get myself back on Facebook. But now that we have X, I am now seeing another problem. X is trying to be not what Facebook is. They have the community notes. Actually, community notes is not really appearing as much as before, which is very, very weird. And number two is they have this narrative that showing everything, right? Showing
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Elon makes sure they show both sides. And make sure that it's the news app. But I realize when we get so sucked into X, we're still missing a lot of information. So back then, I actually unsubscribed the different services and all that. X doesn't show everything as well. Okay, it also still shows a lot of shit posting. Yeah, there's a lot of memes, but a lot of news that you should know is still not there. So if are they one still having an algorithm that controls us, or two are people just recommending things? Sometimes when people recommend things, they might not be recommending things that you also should know as well. So I have a problem of using these social media platforms where if we get so sucked in one, we're actually still missing the information around you.
Well, the thing is, so we talked about it actually for Myriad a lot, because what the platform does is that anyone can install their own instance, right? We have a deployment script and everything, and if you have a couple of days of Linux behind you, you can install it and run it. Um, but we talked about insularization, right? We talk about what if there is an isolated community that just becomes its own echo chamber, right? But
Mm,
then it gets philosophical,
mm,
because if you go to I'm into boxing, uh, not much lately, been busy, but usually. um, if you go to a boxing gym and you bring a baseball bat, people are gonna look at you weird, probably bad weird too.
mm,
And that's the thing. You cannot prevent communities that are revolving a very specific topic to
true.
focus on this very specific topic. But what you can do is, and I'm saying this because apparently I think that your memory hole Republican. And so I'm saying it as a pinko, right?
Mm,
Censorship is way too much. Censorship has been for a very long time way too much. And the thing is, X is the better option right now. I still see it as the better option right now, but X is still it's a commercial thing. It's not a public service, right? And that's another thing. That's another thing that I've been pushing as an argument. When, as a platform, you connect more users than the combined telcos of several small countries, you cannot call yourself a private entity anymore. And I can foresee that some people are going to politicize this statement because it's been stated by this or that side of the spectrum and whatever and whatever. This is not politics. This is this is common sense. When you own the means of communications and the means of commerce of so many entities, you do have a responsibility for neutrality.
mm,
There was a huge discussion that now has actually sunk into a very deep void, right? Gravitational well, net neutrality, right? Some years ago, everything was about the net neutrality. That if you cannot if you are a service provider who owns service A, you cannot slow down service B just because,
mm.
right? That was a huge debate. Now there should be information neutrality, and freedom of speech is extremely important. And a lot of people say, yeah, but yeah, you're gonna have like assholes and terrorists and blah blah blah. It goes so much further than that. So much further than that.
Okay, but there's also another point I want to say. Like,
Mm,
uh, it's I know that data the keeping data, your data ownership is not just an exchange, it's definitely very important. But the
Mm,
problem we have is, even if we don't, let's talk about two things: ownership of, let's say, the financial assets and ownership of data. Even
mm,
financial assets today, I have been preaching through through the association, uh, and mostly personally as well, that when you buy Bitcoin or crypto, don't store it on the exchange, right? Just don't, because you don't know when it will get hacked. And then when I do survey people, if they have money on the exchange, I can tell you 7 out of 10 still keep money on Coinbase, on the local exchanges like CoinHackle. When I ask them why, they say it's easier. But and then when I ask them, do you know that there is a chance of getting hacked? They say yes as well. So within their minds, they know something is important, but they won't do it. And this is money. It's even worse. So when it goes to zero, it goes to zero, right? And you should be able to feel it. So data, they don't even feel, right? So they know that it's important, but they still let it be. I'm still figuring out how do you actually solve this to no, yeah, you need
it's
to
gonna
keep your
solve
data.
itself. It's
Yeah.
gonna solve itself real quick.
Real quick.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you. So basically, everything is my take, and I think it's a take that's shared with a lot of people. Anything about security is about mitigation, right?
Mm,
And the easier things are for the end user, the less safe they get. That's huge, and that's true for everything, by the way. Like if you grow fruit and veggies in your garden versus if you buy them, you are sure that the fruits you grew in your garden are, let's say, like pesticide free and free range apples, grain fed and stuff like that, right? But you can't know if you buy them at the market or whatever if they are laced with arsenic and heavy metals and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, right. But it's
Yes.
easier to buy that at the market. So the
Yes.
easier it is, the less informed you get, and the less
Yeah.
safe it is. So that's a general rule, and this is why, like right now, social media from everything now has become extremely easy, from communicating to dating to, and we pay with our data, and we pay with our safety, data security, all that. But I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna solve itself in a couple of, I want to say years, because I'm optimistic. But some less optimistic people are going to say month. Uh, in a couple of years, a lot of people are going to complain about being scammed by their own grandmas,
Mm.
because grandma will have used Facebook for a while, and other social platforms, or maybe their little cousin, or maybe skimming AIs will know exactly how they behave, how they talk. They will have pictures. With a little luck, they will have voice recording. And if they don't, a phone call or two would be easy. Like, hey, I'm trying to talk to I don't know, like, where's Janice? Like, is it Janice? Oh no, it's not Janice. I think you have the wrong number. Hey, I have a sample of your voice now. Ha ha. So
Mm.
so there, that's going to be a scam. It's already happened. Now uh it's not something that's common, because the barrier of entry is still a bit high, right? You need to have your own model and to run it on a decent computer, and you need to know what you're doing. But it's gonna commodify. It's gonna get
Monetize, yes.
easier.
Mm.
It's gonna get easier. There are
So
gonna be tools for
it's a
this.
tech thing. Do you think it's a tech thing?
It's
If it's easier to install enough computing power to have one, maybe somehow on your phone, is
uh,
that one thing,
I
one way?
have I have an LLM running on my phone, easy. I have several running on my laptop, easy. That's just LLMs. On my desktop, I have image generation. I'm not rich enough to have like video generation that actually works well. Uh, and also I don't have the fire department near enough my house. Yeah, you know, right, with the 5,000 series, what happens? They
Yeah.
melt. So, but the thing is, it's algorithms like AI, Gen AI. I'm talking about generative AI. Okay, public service announcement. AI does not equal LLMs. AI doesn't equal generative AI. Yes, so I'm talking about exactly generative AI. The algorithms are gonna get, and the techniques used and the architectures are gonna get lighter because you can't just keep on throwing absolutely immense amounts of monies on stuff that's not especially sustainable in order to have bigger and bigger and bigger models. um, at some point you're gonna want to start to optimize, unless you want to start building data centers in space. Maybe, I mean, why not submerged data centers in space, but they might be something a little bit more efficient, right? uh, Already there are techniques that uh, are being tried to replace tensors when it comes to AI. And so the technology is going to evolve, it's going to be more efficient, it's going to be more accessible, it's going to require less computing power for similar or better results. And if not, new hardware is gonna come up that's gonna be able to keep up with the very high computational demand of AI. And once this is democratized, then everyone's little cousin, everyone's grandma, everyone's nephew, everyone's brother and sister will be potentially an attack vector for scam. And this is when the data problem is going to solve itself, because everybody's gonna see like, oh, this is how my data is being used now.
Hmm.
Yes.
So
Um, yeah.
that means it will, when we do see ChatGPT gone, Facebook gone, that's when everyone would start to know that, hey, that's how they've been using our data.
Yeah, ChatGPT won't be gone before long, before very, very long. But when we see the emergence of portable solutions, at-home solutions, for AI generation, stuff that a small company can afford on a budget. Yeah, I mean, look at it like this. You have in certain countries, and I'm not targeting one country in particular because it's several countries actually. In certain countries, you have whole call centers manned by dozens and dozens of people who spend their time calling to scam.
Yep.
I mean, that workforce costs money. The equipment costs money. The rental costs money. So why not invest, in a couple of well-powered computers that are going to cost the exact same money, and have uh, a bunch of synthetic people who are based on real people, because data has been harvested, data has been consolidated and sold. And oh yeah, okay, here we know that this is this person, and then you have their family here, that's the way they talk, that's the way they look here, and have them call. Oh, I'm in a pinch, can you spare $500? Oh yeah, of course. Oh, I just opened a new bank account because I had a problem with the last one. Send there. Oh yeah, of course. And that's gonna happen. I mean,
Wow.
it's already happening now. You can look it up online. Like, people are being scammed by AI, by synthetic people already. Synthetic people are also being used to answer scammers. It does happen. High definition 3D people have been used also to catch sex offenders before. So it's not new, actually, the use of synthetic people to subvert expectations.
Yeah. So Singapore
But now it's
alone,
data-based.
yeah, Singapore alone, last 12 months have been scammed over Singapore alone. Okay, it's over
Yeah.
I think now $350 million. But I really, yeah, exactly right. Alone itself. But I, I don't know. Like, at least, not at least. It's actually not good that people here is still relying that government initiatives can do this and this. But what I'm seeing now is you can't rely on government initiatives to do this. It's they keep putting more initiatives. The amount keeps increasing, right? So it then this is really more of an education thing on it's about data. Like what you told me just now, I was very wild. Like my folks, obviously, I think very similar because they also have relatives in Indonesia. They WhatsApp so many different types of videos. Okay, and then they will tell me that they don't click in on any single link that goes out of WhatsApp. But my point is, when you click on a video and you watch it, the data already went somewhere. Okay. So, and then you're saying that their accounts, when they start to learn about the relationships within WhatsApp, it can get to you. So, yeah, so it's a habit thing that they'll continue to do this. And only the day that we have good harmony between China and US where hardware and software can really go together, or just wait for China to have better hardware that we can really solve this. But at least the like you guys like you and the whole ecosystem is still pushing the decentralized data movement out as much as you can.
So there's this thing, right? I heard you talk about like regulations
Yeah.
earlier, well, introducing the Zeal Show, right? And so first off, semi-official co-founder of the Indonesian Blockchain Association, yes, yes,
Yes.
because I've been in the room, I've talked to the people, and yes, because if not, crypto wouldn't be legal in it. Now, I'm not saying if not for me, if not for that association, crypto wouldn't be legal in Indonesia. So again, like,
Take the credit. The association
by
really
his book,
matters. Yeah.
yeah, by his book, because he's right. You need to learn how to talk to regulators. But when it comes to security, when it comes to safety, right? It is not solely on the government
Yeah.
and it's not solely on the industry. It's also on you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with the knife analogy, right? It's like a knife is safe if you hold it by the handle, but there are a lot of ways to hold a knife that are completely stupid. Don't hold the knife like stupid. Hold the knife safe. But this is data, so it's much more complicated than a knife, and people don't know. And maybe people listening to us, hi, by the way, nice to meet you guys. Maybe they're thinking, oh, he's gonna drop something, a big reveal, is soft selling, something is been cooking or something. No, I mean, like we've been with colleagues with Pandu, we've been talking about proof of humanity. For instance, that's a hot topic that's gonna become a very hot topic very soon. But it's on us. It's really on us to make sure that we don't we remain pseudonymous, we remain sovereign in our transactions, we remain sovereign in our communications. We don't publish stuff that can really identify us. We don't bite to every bait we find, and it goes even further because I was talking to you about rage baits. I was talking to you about like echo chambers. The way we communicate, the words we employ, the topic that makes us react, all that is us. Is little bits of us that are being monetized and that are being sold and exploited, and we don't have any royalties on that, guys.
Hmm.
So stay decentralized as much as possible. And when you're not, um, this. Don't be yourself. Be yourself in life, not online.
Ah, that's a good one. Don't be yourself online. Wow. It's so true because once you show yourself and they can you're sharing more data unconsciously if you
Yeah.
are not careful. Wow.
Personally, myself, I'm screwed. Like because I had to dox myself, public speakers in so many conferences, whatever. Like if someone really wants to clone me, they can clone me like that, like easy. But teach your kids really, reach out, make sure they don't. Okay, first off, watch where they go. If your kid is 11 and on Reddit, that's sorry.
No problem.
I'm gonna posit, and okay, very hot take, but I'm gonna posit that your kid is 11 and it's on Reddit. That's worse than if they were doing porn. Like
Mm.
the kind of brain rot you get from that, because they are not gonna learn respect. They're not gonna learn logic. They're not gonna learn philosophy. They're not gonna learn debate or argument. They're just gonna learn I call them drawer statements. Statements you put in a drawer, and then you pull them out of the drawer when they are useful, like pre-made stuff. Oh, this kind of argument show that you have absolutely no maturity. You see it on Twitter, you see it on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram. This kind of discourse, right? And this is also the kind of discourse AI is trained itself on to impersonate to impersonate people, to impersonate users and stuff. Like keep your kids out of this. Have real discussions. Using real logic, using real common sense. Train their brain.
Yeah, so my
That's
my
that's one
my
thing.
kid is
Mm.
P6 right now, primary 6. He always says that, "Oh, how come I still don't have a phone? All my friends have one." But at the same time, when he says that, it's sort of guilt tripping me, saying, "Oh, I'm still not giving it to him." But the thing is, there's another show on Netflix called, I think, Adolescence.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't
well,
watched it,
that
but yeah, heard of
that
it.
one is very real because I'm seeing, you can see it when you go for meals. The kids and the parents, they don't talk. Each of them,
Yeah,
one of them is watching an iPad, one of them is on their phone, the parents are on their phones, and then they are already in their own world. So I'm trying to prevent at during like meals that we actually have phones. So I think this Steve Jobs is definitely correct. And two is, we as adults are already finding it hard to decipher who you should be talking to online, right? It is, and then I'm pretty sure there'll be peer pressure from friends that to use the phone or to watch this and that. I'm just feeling it very hard to actually give them a phone. But I will have to do that someday because P6 in secondary one, they don't have a phone. It's going to be very bad. Okay. But it is, it's very hard to control, and no one is really teaching anyone on this, how to deal with all this social media properly.
give them a phone and a Linux tablet. The world that can happen is they become like a Linux evangelist. Like it could be worse.
True. True.
It,
Because
it
it's
could be
the it's you have to
marginally
program
worse.
things yourself, right? Hmm.
As long as you don't give them Arch Linux, everything is gonna be okay. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get killed for this. Oh, we're online. I'm gonna get unalive for this. Oh god.
Yeah.
Even even yeah. See even the vocabulary we're using is changing because of algorithms. This is pretty crazy. There's been a controversy in I think it's in Canada, but I can't from the top of my head. I don't exactly remember where it is, but in a museum, right? There was an excerpt about I think it's painter, and the painter was unalived, So I don't know. Do you use algo speak here to prevent like YouTube from demonetizing or stuff, or can I use like strong words?
I'm not at the monetizing stage, so no, I haven't started using that yet. No.
Okay, so
Yeah.
kill blood suicide, death coffin. Well, here we're done. Sorry. The dude was killed, right?
Wow.
And on the excerpt, the artist, the excerpt about the artist, they wrote on a piece of paper under the painting, under the artwork. I can't exactly that he was unalived at a museum. This is how far it goes. This word unalive has been used to bypass algorithms to avoid 18 plus rating, to avoid demonetization. Another reason why we absolutely cannot give the custody of our communications to big tech. They change the way we speak in real life. Crazy is that?
I'm digesting. I didn't think the algorithm, wow, it's even controlling new words.
It is. It is. I mean, this is how language evolved, right? Like you're gonna have kids hear grown-ups say things, so soon they don't know better. They think it's the standard, right? So they hear unalive, they say unalive.
Wow.
If they're young enough, and it's completely normal. Like if you're listening to us and if you're under the age of 15 or something, you have your own slang and you have say it's based maybe on online speak and it's normal. I mean, when I was 15, my parents wouldn't understand what I was saying, and vice versa. If they use their own slang, oh,
Yeah. So Gen Alpha, like, but that's where my kids are, right? Gen Alpha people, they already have their own slang. But what we're trying to, what you're saying is there's also going to be, uh, the algo is also controlling the way that. Hello, are you still here? I think we, I think we just hanged. Okay, sorry guys, just 1 second. Actually, there was. I'm very happy with this podcast. I think with all the podcasts that you saw, we've tried to bring in different people, and I've learned a lot for this. Yeah,
okay.
the data. I was
I
saying that if things go wrong, then I can just saying what I was learning. Is everything okay? The internet okay?
yeah, I switched network. Things should be okay.
Okay, okay, great. No, I was just saying that the vocabulary, yeah, the Gen Alpha have their own. I know in school they use words that they don't use at home, all the way, the Gen Alpha, no cap, skibidi, and all
Mm.
that stuff, right? But now there's a whole set that the algorithm is pushing on you as well.
Look, from cereal boxes to YouTube channels, targeting kids has always been a priority, right? Uh, I, I don't remember what countries wine and spirit association were like, young people are not drinking enough. Let's get young people to drink. Like that. That's the demographics, right? Poor impulse
Mm.
control. Want to enjoy life. So let's sell everything to kids and young people because they buy.
Oh my
So
gosh.
um, marketing people, and I put that in quotes because marketing is a very very vast field, and I don't want to point at more honest and I'm gonna say ethical marketing guys, right? But marketing people, like they know that, like put the mascot on the sugar pack that is a cereal box, and kids will buy it, like toy included, right? So optimize your video for trendy words, for trendy colors. Also, like have your face make a big mug shots, exaggerated expression, and and this is it. And again, we circle back to why this is important to keep your data, your network, your whatever you sovereign, because you can extract yourself from this machine, from this meat grinder, because it's that's really a meat grinder, honest. Um,
So how do we do
a lot
that
of
best right now? What do you think we can do?
we prepare ourselves to begin with to to see the fallout of everything we've been doing wrong so far. And guys, if you care about crypto, uh, don't keep your stuff on an exchange. If you care about free speech, I at least opt in decentralized platforms. Back up your stuff, back up your data, have an ass, have a, go off the grid, but digitally, if you see what I mean. Like stop relying on the cloud, and see what are the alternatives, what are the decentralized and or federated alternatives to what's here right now. I mean, Myriad.Social is here. It's looking for a home right now. If you have a chain that's specialized in social graph and everything, like just give me a holler. We can talk. Uh, your medical data as well. I mean, like we did with the Bio network. Like we did something really cool, which is you upload your genome. This genome that has been leaked and is being sold by 23andMe and has been leaked by Ancestry.com. Just saying more of your data that's being commercialized, monetized, and used to profile you. Well, this you can actually send it to DeBio's AI, and it stays on your computer. It doesn't go on our servers, and we don't sell it, and we don't, and it tells you what your genome is about. If you're more likely to have redhead kids, or if you're immune against Alzheimer, and what kind of food is best for you, and you just ask a chatbot about that. So these kind of solutions, stuff that keep your data local, stuff that anonymize your data. If you've ever heard of ZK snarks, time to actually get documented about that. Document yourself on how AIs were trained. Right, I love AI. From data science to generative stuff. I Computer vision, whatever. It's really cool as a technology. Right now, the way, for instance, artists are being ripped off because Spotify and other music platforms are being crawled by AI agents, and music is being analyzed, and you can do something in the style of this or that artist. There is this creator I know who got a copyright strike on his own songs because they were too similar to songs that were generated by AI based on his style.
Hmm.
So basically, his music copyright struck itself.
Yeah,
You see
AI
what I
is
mean?
now they can bypass all the copyright stuff and something needs to give. It's not correct.
So I know I don't have them by name. I've had a pretty hard week sleep-wise, so my brain is full of holes. But I know that there are a lot of initiatives to actually pull creators to own content they can feed AI to actually train AIs and get reward. This is a concept that's been worked on for quite a while. For instance, opting in supporting this kind of solution is great. And if I had an advice for the whole ecosystem, right? I know pump.fun, the dot fun is there for a reason, right? But if you really want to see the ecosystem grow, the crypto ecosystem grow, if you really want to see mass adoption, if you really want to see people starting to care, you need to start supporting projects, not just chains, but projects with your time, your attention, and your tokens. It's not just about investing in something and hoping for the token price to go up. Um, the space is bound to consolidate at some point. The top performing assets are being commoditized, are being opted in by governments, are being more and more dependent from traditional markets. The landscape is changing. If you want it to evolve into something that's not a marginal yet rather big group of people betting on memes, right? Start actually giving a damn for projects, use them, advocate for them, give feedback to the devs, like get involved. It's not normal that, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me that the open source community where no one gets anything from what they do, but sometimes recognition can be so thriving and huge, and that the crypto community that has built-in transactions and incentive cannot come out of the pit of its own, I'm gonna say it, circle jerk.
That's true. Yeah. Great, great.
Right. So yeah, be more like open source.
No, you made a very made a very good point. Support projects, not just the chains, because chains, in a way, it's quite commoditized. New chains come up, and then governance increase. Somehow, it's better. You can see already Ethereum and Solana, like, and then later on there will be a competitor to Solana anyway. But the project itself, with the right intent, we need more people to be supporting, and with the assets that you have made money with, to be supporting these projects. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So,
like gaming consoles.
yeah.
If Are you a gamer?
Yes. Not as
Yeah.
a big one, but yes, I
So
do game.
yeah. So you know how it works, right? And you know why until very recently, before architectures are harmonized and every console became a PC, uh, um, brands wanted exclusives, right? Sony exclusive, Microsoft exclusive, Nintendo, Sega exclusive. Sega is dead, but yeah, as a console maker. But it was for this. Like people didn't want the console; they wanted the games on the console,
Yeah. Hmm.
right?
Good
You
analogy.
you wouldn't. Now you buy a Switch because there are games on the Switch you're not gonna find anywhere else. This is why Nintendo is still selling so well. They know their audience, and people want to play their games. So there, and they're still selling consoles in an era where the console war is over. It's completely over. You have the PS5, the Switch, and the PC, and buy,
Yes.
right? If you count the Steam Deck as a PC.
Yes. Great. So we're reaching the end of the show. I've really learned a lot on the stuff on the data that you talked about, where we're going. So just to end the show, what is it that is you feel excited in the next 12 months, and what you are worried about in the next 12 months?
I'm feeling excited for the very same thing that worry me. So um, I'm as everyone, I'm very excited about what's happening with AI. That's for sure. I'm extremely interested in what's happening in chipset architecture. So quantum computing is going through leaps and bounds. This is fantastic. China has has come up with photonic quantum computing. There's been a press release, like a lot of articles a couple of days ago. Still to be proven performance-wise, but wow. We're talking about a chipset that fuse together CPUs and GPUs. It's old age technology, but it's gonna get democratized. There is still a niche for what's the name, analog computing. Look into it; it's fascinating. I think the computer architecture in the next 5 years is gonna change a lot. If I had an advice, it's like if you buy a PC, buy it big and strong this year and then wait because standards I think are going to change. So that's very very exciting to me. Quantum cryptography also. So that's something I worry about uh, because quantum computing, yeah, as I just said, is going through leaps and bounds, right? IBM is projecting 1,000 qubits computing power by 2033. We're talking about noisy qubits, so it's not super. It's not the most efficient way to do quantum computing, but it still could crack RSA and Fidelman algorithms in a couple of days instead of in a couple of 100,000 years. So quantum proof, uh, quantum proof encryption, very very strong topic, very interesting topic, something to back up. Proof of humanity. Proof of humanity is gonna be huge. The orb is just the beginning. We are going to need we are going to need a proof of humanity very very soon.
What does that mean? Proof of
Uh,
humanity. What does that mean?
how do you know I'm not an AI?
Oh, okay. Wow, that's already good enough. Okay. Yeah, I totally need one.
That's it. That's it. The dead internet conspiracy theory might not be a conspiracy theory for very long. That's one of my fears. You see AI slop everywhere from bots. I've been blocking so many accounts on X. Um, that's going to be problematic if there is no counterplay soon.
But
Telegram is starting to charge
isn't Sam
for
Altman
inbound messages. Sorry.
working on World? The World app is
Mhm.
supposed to be sort of a proof of humanity, right?
Yeah, but yeah, there is this thing, right? Actually, like if you go to my LinkedIn, uh, I'll I'll post it on X
Yeah.
after the show. Pando and I wrote an article about proof of humanity. This is a single point of truth there. There is one chain that says with one biometric factor that you're human. But first off, it's dedicated to doing that, meaning that it's going to become a prime target for cheating, for trying to bypass it. And second is just one thing, and proof of humanity should be emergent. So there is a lot of disagreement sometimes about what signals can be used. Some people say that online signals could be valid but weak. I say that online signals are so bottable and so fakeable that they have very, very little value. But if you want a proof of humanity, you need something that's based on something we do as humans. Like we move, we breathe, we sleep, we have rhythm, we eat, we physically transact, we add each other numbers and phones. So what kind of physical interaction, what kind of physical actions do we do that we can use to collect, keep locally, keep locally, keep locally a device or on devices and prove with zero knowledge proof, zk snarks, this kind of things. Like that's I think a better alternative to a single point of entry. It needs to be multiple.
Mm, makes sense. Makes sense. Great. So thank you, Danny, for this. This reaches the end of our episode. Uh, and what's going to happen after this is if they have any questions, we can reach out to Danny through his LinkedIn. His LinkedIn.
Yeah, and my
Are
X
there
account,
ways
I
for
have,
people?
yeah, I have 2 followers right now. So yeah, you
Uh,
reach, keep in touch on my account if you want. I'm almost active, so I'll answer.
Okay, cool, cool. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, so for the guys in the US, which is majority of the show, have a great night, and in Asia, have a great day ahead. Thank you, Danny. See you soon.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. See you soon.
Thank you.